Divine connection.
What's your new direction?
Kim A presents Green Greens.
It's so cute in here. Thank you. I really like the colors and stuff. Thank you. I'm trying to be vegan. It's been a struggle, but
Take your time.
I know it's a struggle. So hey y'all, it's me, Kim A, and I'm here with Sparkle. Fun fact, one of my favorite movies is Sparkle, the original Sparkle. Shout out to Winnie Houston though, but the original Sparkle, that's my favorite.
I did have the dress on.
Did you?
That orange dress, I had the orange dress.
Did you? I'm giving him something here. No,
I was stupid
Okay.
enough for that.
Okay, I'm here with Sparkle, and she owns The Black Vegan. And I'm excited to be here.
Nice, I'm excited to have you here.
It's crazy because I was telling my friend, I saw a post on Facebook, and it was like, I believe it was like an Italian beef. And it looked so good. And I was like, oh my God, this looks so good. And I saw the name, and I was like, this is your restaurant.
Oh, nice.
It looks so good.
Okay. It's definitely, I think the Italian beefs and our Lion's Mane wings changed the whole trajectory of our business. Like we went from being super, super slow, but then when we added those two, it just changed everything for the best.
So how do you go about like the recipes? Like, is it something you just think of, or it's just like, okay, I see this is not high demand? Or...
So like for me, like, so all of our products, like you don't find anywhere else because we don't really follow the recipe books. We basically focus on like what we miss the most, and then we do a lot of experimenting from there. So like a lot of our menu items came from like first fucking it up, like, can I curse?
Yeah, look.
Okay.
Yeah.
You like,
Free your mind and the rest will follow.
probably gonna curse like 20
Okay.
times. Go ahead. So we start by it doesn't go right the first time. It rarely goes right. But we just keep trying different like ideas and a lot of experiments until we get it right. So with veganism being so new, you have to be a scientist because there's no recipe book out there, especially for our people, because we're not gonna eat like everybody else. So you really just like creating it from like your imagination, and then when you get it right, then it's like Eureka. Is that the word? Yeah.
So how did it come about? I know you said that you're 100% vegan. Like, what sparked the idea? Like, I feel like I can own my own vegan restaurant.
So I don't even think it was by choice, to be honest. I always told God, like, I want to be a millionaire so I can help a lot of people. I just want to help a lot of people.
You for everyone. Get to know that name.
Right now, we out here feeding the homeless and trying to see if they're interested in signing up for mailboxes for everyone. So we can hopefully try to seek them employment and possibly entrepreneurship.
However that happened, like, I'm gonna be obedient. So when COVID first hit, I was driving Uber, I was doing Lyft, and I was doing Amazon all at the same time, every single day. I left my corporate job and it just didn't work out. And then when COVID came around, there was no more Uber rides. So I couldn't get any rides. I would wait all day for like one $8 ride and just take it just cause, you know, $3 is better than zero, you know, during COVID. And so the spirit just kept telling me, you know, don't open a restaurant. And I was just trying to, you know, do what I was doing, just like from the crib, just like, you know, spirit kept saying like restaurant. And so it was at one point in time where all I had was my rent money for next month. Like, that's it. I had no income. All I had was this amount of money. And so I wanted to pay my rent, but the spirit told me no. I got an eviction notice and they were like, yo, you got to get out. So it was either you pay your rent and you be homeless, or you know, put that into what the spirit told you. I have no prior experience of running a restaurant. I worked in it, but obedience. So I first started looking for a food truck because I'm like, food trucks are less expensive. Spirit say no, you're not gonna do no food truck. We're gonna get you a restaurant. So after looking at a whole bunch of places, I came with to this spot, and the price that they wanted to do the rent, the deposit, and to build out that kitchen was exactly the amount of what I had for my rent and all my savings after I'm like pulling pennies and putting them in the coin machines and stuff like that. So I put everything I had for the down payment on the restaurant. For the first 2 years, I was choosing between putting food in my refrigerator or putting it in the restaurant's refrigerator. I chose the restaurant every time. So there was many times, especially the first 2 years, like I didn't eat at home, you know, and I didn't want to eat here because I didn't want to take away from the potential. I would say when year 3 hit, everything just catapulted. And it's mostly because the first 2 years where I didn't have like a place to stay or I didn't have anything for myself, we were still helping the community. So we were still out here doing the riots, feeding people for free. Even if I'm like, look, let me get this with this X amount of dollars and, you know, expand this. Or when they have the water crisis in Flint, we using the last money we got to send out water to people we don't already know. And I think it's just like that good energy came back around. So we have a lot of people who just give and ask for support just because they know that that was like the history. They don't know that we was given from like an empty cup, but they know we always do things with love. And if anybody ever needs anything, so I always try to be like vocal about that because a lot of people feel like in order to run a business, you got to know what you're doing. You got to have a loan from XYZ. It was many days. My bank account was, I got $25, so I'm going to flip $25 in groceries and then get that to last me to the next day. And then I might have $50. Get that, use that 50, flip it to the next day. And so that's how we started. We looking for a second or new location right now. We have a lot of people who've been in the industry 20 plus years who want to partner and work with us and expand with us. And yeah, it's just the beginning.
It's like, you know how people say like follow your dreams and God will like open doors and stuff like that. Like I know it can be scary, and I'm like, I'm here now at this point. Like at that point you said, like I'm here now. And like hearing stories like that, like from seeing like Black people, you know, even if you're like on your last dollar, knowing that like I know this can work, and if I put like my intuition, I put my, you know, my mind, my heart, like, and they say like you do your best and everything will fall into place, and I feel like the community really had your back. Yeah. And even though they couldn't see that basically you were like giving your last, it's like they God knew, you know? So
Start preaching, baby.
that's crazy. No, it's crazy. Like that's very moving. It's very telling. I was gonna ask about community because I see we have like a lot of posters and things like that about helping people, and this is free. You take this shelf is for free, things like that. It's like things like this is like I feel like is what dreams are made of. Like you really don't even know like what you do for people. It's crazy. That's a blessing. And that's probably why you are about to open a second location, because you've been a blessing to us.
Thank you.
That's
I mean, dude, I don't care.
Right. It's I just feel like stuff like that, like seeing this, a young Black woman like and vegan, like we don't have a lot of Black vegan restaurants in Chicago that I know of. I know of some, but like I said, you're a young Black woman, and like you say, you put your last into this, and to see that it worked because you followed your heart, you've been obedient. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And so that's why we help people build their businesses like here for free. It's hard doing it on your own, but if you have like help, that can change so many people's lives to end up doing something they never would have did because they didn't have people to push you or, you know, be like, what's your missing piece? Let me feel it. And helping people don't cost a thing but time.
That's facts. So, like, did you come from like a family of entrepreneurs, or like it was just so heavy on your heart? That
I'm over here. No. So I would say, I know when I was younger, my mom used to have a cleaning service. And then my grandma, she was a singer. And I think she helped me a lot because even as like a young child, she would be like, look, create these tickets on whatever program y'all be using, print them out for me. And she'll have me doing all these things that I didn't know that I would be using until this day. I wouldn't say they were like super entrepreneur focused, you know what I mean? Because it kind of like fizzled out, which it can be, but it gets really hard if you don't get the support initially. But I will say, I definitely recall like many times just seeing them at least trying to do something on their own. And so that did like motivate me. My mom, she's like my big motivator. She, you know, even if she didn't reach where she wanted to reach, like she kept trying to the best of her abilities. And I think that's all we can do.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So I wanted to ask as well, like, this show is called Remix Go. And I know sometimes in life we're hit with like different roadblocks and things like that. And of course, like I said, Black women, Plan A don't work, Plan B is a way to make Plan A work. So with you, like, I know you probably have days to where like everything isn't like so smooth.
Maybe.
What keeps sparkling going?
You know what? I feel like what keeps me going the most is knowing that I can be an example for a lot of people who don't have it. You know what I mean? People like me who couldn't afford to go to college, who couldn't afford to do things that they really wanted. So if I feel like, in my spirit, I'm like, if I can show people that I started this with $0, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so I had a request. Somebody wanted me to ask you. I said, I don't know if she would know this, but
Okay.
about like going vegan and like dealing with like less pain, less inflammation and things like that. Are you like in tune with that? Like,
Oh yeah, that's my whole motivation.
Yeah. Okay, so what is that like? How does that go for you?
So for me, like when I was vegan, it wasn't for the animals. I didn't have as much love for animals then as I did now, but it was more so for my physical health. So my anxiety, my depression. When I did the 30 days, I noticed that one, like I wasn't as like stressed as I usually am. Even when you surround around stressful situations, you handle it so much well because you feel lighter. So you like floating through it instead of just like trucking through it. And then even with like the physical like health and stuff like that, I noticed there was like a huge decrease in like yeast infections. It's so, when I tell you, it's so magical for our like health, like down there and just all over, a huge difference. And then anxiety, like I used to be one of those people, I'll sit and my leg be like shaking and people would tell me stop, you know, but I thought it was something that was like hereditary until I took meat and dairy out my system and I realized it was what I was like consuming every day. Since I've been vegan, I rarely like get sick. Like when I say rarely, I can't tell you the last time I was like sick and like, oh, I can't go nowhere. If I do get sick, it might last for like a couple hours max. And that was like a big motivator for me. Even when I gave birth, I had COVID during my delivery and I never knew. Like I had no symptoms. I was jumping around, just, you know, enjoying myself. Like I didn't know until they told me, you know what I mean? And even my son, he's 2, he's vegan, rarely gets sick, rarely like, he don't get sick. If he has like the sniffles, it's gonna be gone the next day, but just seeing that difference and knowing that, you know, I can make my child, you know, healthier, at least for as much of his life as possible, kind of helped me as well. So it's definitely like a night and day difference. Like it's not a theory or anything like that. Like you'll definitely see the difference in like your health.
And I feel like your skin is popping. Like I feel like things like that. Like when I think about people like that are vegan, I look at things like that, like the way that they portray themselves, the way they come across, energy-wise, and skin for me. Because when I see Tabitha Brown, I see the skin, Chloe and Halle, the skin. Like the skin is glistening. You can always tell. And your skin is glistening. Like I can tell.
I ain't even oil it. Thank you. You're so nice.
No, you really can tell.
For real?
So,
okay, thank you.
what tips do you have for like people that are considering going vegan?
I suggest don't do it cold turkey. I feel like a problem a lot of like non-vegans have is that a lot of like vegans can be very judgmental. Like if you're not doing it 100%, then you might as well not do it at all. But with that theory, you know, even like down in like fake meats and stuff like that, we have to remember that meat and dairy is an addiction. You know, it's not something we just chose. It's something that was passed down through generations and generations and generations. and we're in the energy of breaking these generational curses. So I would say first, before you just go full, just super healthy, because you can detour it as soon as you get tired of it. Learn to enjoy it first. Don't worry about all these health and all this stuff like that, but first learn to enjoy it so that you can stick with it. So instead of just either do a 30-day and then slowly transition, or just be like, oh, I'm gonna just do vegan on weekends. Do that for 1 month, and then the next month, okay, now I'm gonna be vegan 5 days out the week and only do meat on the weekends, and then I'm gonna only do meat once a month. Your body is gonna automatically crave better, you know what I mean? But you want to make sure you enjoy the process so that you're not just it shouldn't be dreadful,
right?
You know what I mean? So I always recommend, don't jump straight into it. Take it slow. Don't worry about these judgy vegans or anything like that. It is your journey, because it's better to take it slow and then still have a good spirit and be understanding, instead of just being one of those vegans who eat healthy but then they don't have the that spiritual connection to be compassionate about those who are on that process.
Right.
So take it slow.
Okay, slow and steady, it wins the race.
Yes,
you know what they say. So where do you see the Black Vegan in the next 2 to 3 years?
Next 2 to 3 years, I would say a minimum of 3 locations. Our focus is not really, not solely on food, but community is always a primary thing. So I think that's what sets us apart from other restaurants. I feel like we're going to be way more involved in a community, to the point where we're already a household name in Chicago, but I want people to know this is what their brand is, this is what they stand for, and when you're saying I support the Black Vegan, you're supporting the morals and stuff like that. So we're definitely expanding at a fast rate. It's a lot of restaurants that's been closing down. We will not be one of those at all.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll be more involved in the media, doing more fun things, and we'll be known for being more than the Black Vegan restaurant. It'll be the Black Vegan movement.
Oh,
I just thought about it right now.
come on, movement. I like it.
I like it
really
too.
do.
I hope I remember it.
Yeah.
I do.
The Black Vegan movement. I like. They got a ring to it.
I like
I really
that.
do. I look forward to seeing everything, because I know it's gonna happen. I can tell by your passion, your drive, the way you speak about it. You can always tell when somebody is passionate about what they do,
Thank you.
and their heart being in it versus for different other reasons. And I can tell that your heart is genuinely in it. Like I said, I came in, I was taking pictures of community signs and stuff, because you can tell you want to give back to the people.
Yes,
You can
ma'am.
always tell when it's filled with love, and I feel the love. So
Thank you.
congratulations.
You are what you attract.
Exactly.
It's a
Okay.
reflection of you, sis.
Yeah, so congratulations on everything.
Thank
we look
you.
forward to seeing you doing bigger and better. This is already big, but I know it's only going to get better.
Yes, ma'am. And then if you ever need help with your businesses or projects, every Monday night we got entrepreneur meetups. We
Okay.
help entrepreneurs with their projects and businesses for free. Feel free to slide through, and
Okay.
we don't play about holding each other accountable and really supporting each other.
Okay, we love to see it. This is Sparkle, the Black Vegan. Be sure to follow me, subscribe to my channel, Kim A Presents Green Means Go, and follow Sparkle in her endeavors and her channel and everything that she does.
Yes.
Support it. Give them your Instagram, everywhere they can follow you. Support you.
Yes. So on Instagram, we're the Black Vegan Shy. That's the restaurant the restaurant page. We also have a web series that we'll be putting on TV. You can follow that at the Black Vegan TV. Our website, shopblackvegan.com. But always be sure to check in on our Instagram, because we're always doing something, whether it's with entertainment or not-for-profit or just...
I forgot to bring it up. It was one of my questions. I barely looked at it. I was just going off the top of the dome, but I love the fact that you are so interactive with your employees. The games that you play. I watched the video you guys were who brought in the Reggie? He was I want to play Reggie. And it was just so funny. I thought it reminded me of Insecure.
Ooh,
that dynamic, I felt it. It was just a vibe. I was I like this.
We're going to do some intense drills for church etiquette. What's the most important part about church?
The shouting.
Okay, good. Yes. Can you give us an example?
Come on, count me in. Come on.
I remember everybody thought that she was faking it, but I knew she was faking it.
Like, you can tell, like, y'all really do have fun. I like it.
Yeah, so the amazing part about that is like those are not like employees who work here at all. No. So the Monday Entrepreneur Group that I was telling you about, where we help each other with for projects for free, that is something that group helps me with. They help me produce that show. So I came to them, I'm like, hey, I really want to produce this series that I had to put off to run the restaurant, and I need help. And when I presented it to them, they're like, how can I help? So we have people who've acted for the first time. We have people who edited videos for the first time, who shot videos for the first time, who's done all these things for the first time. A lot of those people who are like, well, just like favored online, like that's their first time like doing all of that. But we lead with love. So when you say, hey, I need help with this, like that's what we do. We jump in. We ain't got to be professionals. We ain't got to have experience, but we got the heart, and that's gonna show.
The heart wins every time. Is there a heart in the house tonight?
Hey, no.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you,
I'm sorry.
Sparkles. You good?
Okay.
Follow her, support her. I love it. I love to see it. The Black Vegan. Thank you all for watching. Thank you so much, Sparkle. I really appreciate it. I want to get a picture.